ask you about the offensive line. Last year, the team was 4th best in sacks allowed and 1st in the whole league in yards per carry for rushes. Yeah, I just saw a poll come out that has the O-line 23rd. Do you think the offense? Why do you think there's such scrutiny on the offensive line, and what do you think?
Well, the statistics are the statistics, right? But in regards to the O-line, I think that they're doing their best at that. When they're required to, and for them to come out with a poll, let's keep sliding. For them to come out with a poll, the 23rd best or whatever. I mean, that's all fine because there's other O linemen that may be better, but as far as numbers and what we did last year, I don't think there's any O line that can compete with what we've done, and especially in this offense, it's super high flying, speeds all around. You got nothing but playmakers that can get the job done, and it starts up front. And you have a great leader like Teron, and for him to come in and take over the scene, and him battling, through all different types of adversity, and to still be able to be a high caliber type of player, that just shows you the type of resilience that the O-line has, because they look up to him, and many others like Kendall Lamb. There's a whole group of guys, so they know what they have to do.
Raheem, this is for a podcast.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm like, whoa, there's new technology going on around here. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Right, good. Doing something about having 3 potential Hall of Famers on this roster, Calais, Jalen, and Tyreek.
Yeah.
What does that add to this team on the field and off the field?
Yeah, those guys are just amazing, and you see what they do day in and day out. Starting with Calais, he's a savvy vet. Year 17, age 44, going into a great career, and he just brings a lot of juice and energy at his stature. The guy's he's built like a tank, and you see him on the field, especially me as a running back, and I'm breaking huddle, and I got to line up against this guy. It only makes me get more confidence in the O-line, and same thing with the O-lineman. They see him and they're like, oh yeah, this guy, we gotta strap it up, especially the caliber that he is. And then you got Tyreek, who's 10's just always gonna be a playmaker, no matter what's going on, no matter what team he's on. He's always bringing that juice and that energy. And then you got Ramsey, man. I've been blessed to play against him when we were at the NFC West for so many years, and I know that type of guy. I know exactly what he's exactly going to bring each and every game. And he gave a speech a couple days ago, and he was just basically telling everybody, it's okay to trash talk each other in practice. It's just going to build our character up, build our brotherhood up, and when we face other opponents, you got to have that dog mentality, and he's been able to bring that mentality day in and day out. So to have those 3 guys, especially at their caliber and what they've been able to do, man, it just brings along, potential Hall of Famers within the team, and it's really fun. It's really fun.
There's a lot of talk about the bond, the chemistry, spending time together, hanging out. You've been around last year. You've been around other teams. What's the difference, and why is this so important?
The difference is we got a collective group of guys that actually are bought in and they want to succeed. And if that means hanging out outside of the facility, we're going to go through any extent to make that happen. And we're doing a great job with that stuff. We're inviting each other to events in the off season. Teron had his camp and his thing that he was doing. So did Tyreek and many others, right? Alec Ingold, he does a lot. So you try to just get involved with the guys because it means more off the field than it does on the field. But on the field, you do have to have that brotherhood and know that you're going to go to battle with each other. So.
I think for the first time you made the top 100 list.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
I was pretty high. I was a little distraught, because I thought I was going to be a little bit lower. But honestly, it just gives me more motivation to work even harder. I did what I did last year, but now it's time to move on. It's year 2024, and I got bigger and better things that I want to get accomplished. And also, I want to help this team as much as I possibly can because it's going to be nice to have a championship down here in South Florida.
You think you were still underrated even?
I'm always going to be underrated no matter what. I'm an underrated, under the radar type of guy. That's fine with me. And when when I do the things I do and compete and show people that, you know, I'm worth something, I'm worth a damn, then, you know, then that's when all the haters, they're usually quiet. So, and I like that. I feed off of that type of stuff, and I don't listen to what everybody else has to say. I'm just going to go out here, help this team win, and I'm going to do what I have to do.
You know, we got the chance to see the first of those kickoff rules, obviously in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
You know, just what's your thought on that, and obviously from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity, you know, to bring a new rule like that coming in, and you see the way it's set up. First off, it's about player safety, right? That's the most important thing, and then we're going to see a lot more returns. You know, not so many touchbacks nowadays, so. It's going to be fun. You know, it's going to be fun for both sides watching kickoff and kickoff return. I'm just excited to see how it plays out because it's a new rule. You know, I'm very old school. I like to, you know, get behind that wedge and then, you know, see daylight and run and blow some stuff up. You know, so but it's fun to see this thing.
Raheem, you were asked about the guys up front, but in this scheme, they kind of rely on you two to make them right at times as far as the zone and the cuts.
Mm-hmm.
What's that process like for you guys this time of year? And is there any connection to, last year there were a lot of games where you kind of had guys that started a game and didn't finish the game up front. And how did that impact you guys in the back there?
Yeah, to your first point, you know, it's all about patience. You know, we have to gain the trust in the O-linemen, and they have to gain the trust in the running backs to make them right. So, you know, it goes hand in hand. And then in regards to, you know, last year we had a lot of mix up at the O-line. It seemed like we didn't have the same O-line more than three games, which was totally fine because we still got the job done. But we were still number one in offense, and that pretty much every category. So, you know, just getting a group of guys to settle in and you know them working together and the cohesiveness, you know, it just brings a lot of ability and a lot of comfort in knowing that everything's going to work out.
We're a week out, obviously, from our first game like
Yeah.
tonight. A lot of fans are wanting to know, is there anything that you guys have as far as like a ritual before the game? Is there something you eat, maybe something like that?
Not in particular, but I will say, you know, we're excited about the touchdown celebrations. You know, getting those things backed up and ramped up going. So we'll see, man. I feel like we got a couple of things up our sleeve. We just got to practice it a little bit, but I think that's going to be in season. So, but we're excited, man. You know, this offense is going to be high flying. This team's going to be great. You see what the defense is doing, man. They're lights out. It's a battle every day with the defense, and they're making us better, and we're making them better. So. We're just excited, man, to get to or we're playing here against Atlanta, and yeah, we're gonna see what this team's made of at that moment. So.
What's the maintenance plan for you?
You know, honestly, they just call my number. I go out there. I don't, you know, I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go, ready to rock. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But just know that, you know, every time they're gonna call my number, I'm be ready to go. So.